Hi, this is Dusty Wallace from Denison Media Technology Services, and today I'm in Barney Davis room 215 to go over some of the connectivity and usage in a standard analog eClassroom. So most of you may know that we have been in the process of upgrading all of our eClassrooms to a more digital platform, which includes touch panel interfaces, high definition video, and more connectivity options for laptops and mobile devices, including hardwired options as well as the Kramer via wireless option. But there are still many rooms that are in perfectly good working function that are throughout campus. One of the buildings that is full of analog rooms for the most part is here in Barney Davis. You'll also find these rooms in Ebaugh, most of Fellows, and then various places throughout campus. But Barney's one of those buildings where all but about 2 of the rooms as of the summer of 2017 are still analog spaces. So the first part of it being an analog space that you may notice if you teach both in a digital room, like one of the newer rooms that just got updated in Higley, or perhaps in Talbot, and then coming over here into a place like Barney, is number one, the startup time for projectors can be a little slower. In our new rooms, we use laser technology in our projectors. These in the analog rooms are traditional lamp-based projectors, so they do take a little more time to start up and to shut down. The other piece you'll notice is that the touch panel in an analog room is actually a hard button interface. Most of the time you'll see it labeled as an Crestron Media Link interface. So instead of having an interactive display touch screen, you actually have hard buttons for all of your display controls as well as DVD, VCR, seek functions, and so on. However, most of your options are still basically the same, but you will notice that resolution will be different in an analog room. These typically aren't running full HD, but they are still decently solid displays and are still being used quite widely throughout the education spectrum. So just want to go over a few of the connectivity pieces with you today, and also some of the things that you may see in a classroom such as this. In most analog classrooms, what you're going to find is a traditional VGA connection. So VGA just stands for Video Graphics Array. It's really one of the only analog connections for a computer that still seems to be around, as well as the 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch audio jack. So unlike HDMI or mini DisplayPort or Thunderbolt or any of those digital options, with the exception of DVI, VGA does not have the ability to carry audio with it. So that's why you will see either in the same cable housing or as another run, a separate audio cable to go into the headphone jack of your laptop when you come in to connect to this space. So you'll want to make sure that whenever you are using a laptop that you do select the laptop button, but you also plug this right into your device, whether it's through a dongle or if your laptop still has a VGA output option. And then don't forget to plug in the audio jack into the headphone port of your laptop as well. So talking about the display properties itself and the interface, let's go ahead and turn on the projector in this room. So we hit the on button. You'll notice that the on button will flash while the projector is warming up. The same is true when you go to shut down an analog room. The off button will flash when it's cooling down. So you'll notice right up here that we do have our projector. I'll hold this marker up so hopefully it gets it into the shot. But it's just one of our standard NEC NP2000 projectors in here. And it's basically VGA all the way from the podium up to the projector. So you're only going to have that type of resolution capability in this analog space. So while that's warming up, just a couple of other things that you'll find in most analog eClassrooms, pretty much the same as some of your digital eClassroom counterparts. But the first thing is you'll typically find, if it's a traditional Podium like we have in Barney 215, it'll be a larger form factor analog document camera, typically something that has a writing surface on it as well as lighting control. And then, like you saw in at the beginning of this video, you have your laptop VGA connection. There are some eClassrooms that are analog rooms that have dongles attached So you may have actually two VGA lines, but one of them has had a secured dongle to it for mini display port or DVI or what have you. But 99% of the time, you're going to want to plan on getting out of your computer to the VGA connection in an analog room. You'll also have in the Podium, you'll have in most eClassrooms, it'll either be a region-free, code-free DVD player or DVD VCR combo, or a regular non-region-free, non-code-free DVD VCR combo. In 215 we have the standard DVD VCR combo in here, which again can be controlled from the Crestron interface, and then of course the PC or the Mac, depending on what room you're in. This happens to be an HP Elite one, so there's no separate tower. Everything's within what looks like the monitor unit. So now in that time, looks like our projector is warmed up. So let's go ahead and plug in a laptop just to see how that all works. So I'm using an HP Elite X2 hybrid laptop. It's one of the tablet/laptop options. And we are going to plug in our dongle to the display out. So you'll notice this is actually USB-C to VGA. And then we'll plug in the VGA cable. And then you'll notice that my screen just flashed for just a moment. And then I'm going to switch over to the laptop input. And now my laptop display is up on the screen. If you are having trouble diagnosing maybe an issue with the connectivity, the first thing you'll want to do is go to your screen and hit Windows P on your machine. You'll notice that you have a few options. Up at the very top, you'll see PC screen only. Underneath, you'll see duplicate, which is kind of the standard for Denison PCs, which means whatever you see on your laptop's desktop, and the same is true for your Podium PC, is going to be on the projected screen as well. And then you could also switch it to extend, which would mean if you want to see something different on your laptop display than what's projected, you'll want to go to an extended desktop. And if for some reason, if you wanted to turn off the screen on your laptop and only go to the projector, you can choose second screen only. But again, your main options are going to be duplicate and extend, and you can get to that menu by hitting Windows P. Like I mentioned before, VGA does not carry audio natively, so we'll want to make sure we grab this audio cable and plug it into the headphone jack on our laptop to get up and running. And then from there, we can control volume for audio at the interface and switch any inputs as needed. To shut down the room, obviously, if you're using the Podium PC, you'll want to log out of that and then disconnect anything that you may need to from your laptop. Go ahead and hit display off on the interface, and the whole process will reverse itself, and you'll see that button blinking off, letting you know that the projector is cooling down. In that time frame, if you accidentally hit projector off, remember you won't be able to turn it back on until it is cooled all the way down. So you could expect anywhere from 30 seconds to about a minute and a half for those to shut down all the way in an analog eClassroom. Coming up in a later video, we'll go over a digital eClassroom and some of the connectivity options in those spaces as well. But as always, if you have any questions on the technology in any of the Denison eClassrooms or labs, please contact the ITS Help Desk.